Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. I'm hoping you guys are all having a fantastic day. So in today's video we'll be talking about the pattern, obviously the flooding rains that are going on across the southern United States, some of the snow that fell, and what's to come in the future. Warmer, colder, depending on where you live. So if you guys like these videos, consider liking, consider subscribing, obviously, once you've watched the video. Otherwise, let's get into this video. So I want to start off by quickly saying that probably this video will be relatively short, right around 10 minutes, as I am a bit busy right now, and because of that, I also probably will be releasing videos, not daily, maybe, just a bit less consistently, probably most days, right? Just don't be surprised if I miss a day or two, because there's a lot of stuff going on. It's the garden, spring, right? School. Okay, so let's get into this. Past rainfall across the United States into the southern United States has been rather remarkable. Look at that, 7.5 inches. That's really like, I cherry picked obviously the highest amount I could find on here. There's probably maybe a higher amount, 7.21. Regardless, very heavy rain in a few pockets. I mean, widespread, pretty good rainfall event for the South. You can see Illinois, Indiana. That yellow color is around 1 to 2 inches. Once you get towards that red, that's over 2 inches, and that purple is 3 to really almost 7, as you saw. And right now, if you're to take a look at the map, the National Weather Service map, there are a ton of weather and rain-related advisories, right? So we have in the red, the flash flood warnings. In the yellow, a tornado watch for the severe weather. We have a severe thunderstorm warning for severe thunderstorms. And look at that, we have some sort of a flood warning, just a general flood warning, and that you can see in tiny little areas. That is to do with that little creeks and rivers that are at this point probably well over their flooding stage, probably in the moderate to maybe some approaching major. Notice that we do have some thunderstorm warnings. I don't think we have any tornado warning. Okay, well, we do. I shouldn't have said that. Jinx myself. So we do have a tornado warning. Let's go back. This is, you can see right there, flying debris will be dangerous. Obviously, gives it a warning. This is headed towards until 7:15, so this will probably be over by the time this video is uploaded. But it's located across north central, really northwestern, but also kind of central Tennessee, just south of Clarksville. I don't think it's looking to be a major thunderstorm or a major tornado, but I mean, the tornado is a tornado, right? So you can see they emphasize that. Take cover now if you live across this area, but again, it will probably be over by the time I upload this. Regardless, really strong thunderstorms, and obviously they have a lot of rain with them, a ton of rain, right? And you can see this is the timing for this is Memphis. I just chose a random place. Flood watch, severe storms outlook. It's a slight, so again, tornadoes are there, but it's a low threat overall, so you shouldn't be caught staying up all night because of that. Kentucky, these areas have been absolutely hammered for the last few days, and notice that all these watches and warnings are issued, and we see some pretty heavy rainfall rates right there. And just by looking at the advisories and map at the National Weather Service, they are oriented from southwest to the northeast, so you can see in what direction this is moving, and it is sagging very slowly to the south, unfortunately. Very slowly is the key word here, as that's what's causing a lot of the issues. It's over wet ground, it's slow, and over the last 6 hours, let's take this radar loop. Notice that most of the night there was already rain across the south. Yesterday in the evening there was quite a bit. Right, there was a bit of a break as this heavy rain shifted into, say, New York, Pennsylvania, Maryland. And notice that it was light to moderate, but it did subside after a while. And, they're not absolutely rain bogged there, but they do have quite a bit of snow cover across certain locations. So some flooding issues are still possible, especially across Pennsylvania, where the heaviest snow cover is. Notice, right, there were thunderstorms on and off throughout the day into Tennessee. Some areas were getting already swamped, as early as the afternoon by these thunderstorms. Notice there's a cold front from our weak little system that continues to intensify as it approaches into Canada. You can see that precip shield just exploding. And you can see southern Illinois, Missouri, Indiana ended up seeing a lot of that rain. And while you may think this is going pretty quickly to the south, I mean, you can see the movement over the last 2 hours. It's really, I mean, yes, it has gone to the south, but it has just Kentucky, Tennessee, Memphis well in its grasp of this heavy rain. St. Louis may get a few showers. It doesn't look as if it'll really go much further to the north. Definitely a concern for tornadoes and severe weather on the backside, which is why there are severe thunderstorm watches and warnings for the northeast Texas and into Arkansas, and tornado watches as you go further to the north into Tennessee, as you saw a tornado warning in one of those tornado watch areas. And a lot of rain is falling. This is pretty good, darn good heavy rain. If we were to take a look at Canada, right? So this is a cool little system. You can see, I'll show you the snow it dropped yesterday across the Midwest. Definitely, there were a few surprises. Notice, right? It's spinned away into the UP, dropped quite a bit of snow, and look, now it's spinning into Canada. It is rather significant. It will get a bit of moisture from this system, this southern wave, but very heavy snow occurring right now across Ontario into Quebec, province. Notice that it's too far to the north to really provide any major snow for the large metropolitan areas, but still, snow nonetheless as you go to the north. Notice, let's take a look. I wanted to take a glance at the total snowfall amounts. That's what I was saying, right? Notice that this snow amounts, I showed you the rain. Look at that. Some locations in South Dakota got pretty good amounts. 12 inches, I think, is our top area. Yeah, no, in South Dakota out of this whole system. 12 inches, that's not bad out of such a small little system. You can see there were higher amounts right there in near kind of the Badlands area into Rapid City. 3-4 inches, not bad amounts. 8 inches as you got into north South Dakota. Notice that they were kind of spotty, right? A few areas got 3, and then just a bit over got 6.5. North of Sioux Falls, really the snow fell, and that's what was a surprise. You could see Minneapolis only picked up around 1 to 2 inches, while St. Cloud picked up 4, 6, and areas in between almost 7, 7.5. So, that was definitely the thing, right? It overperformed as a whole, but for Minneapolis in particular, underperformed. Obviously, notice definitely good amounts and it got higher as this started to intensify, and you can see 8, 9, 10 inches were common, and probably even higher amounts as you go up to the north to Canada. Okay, GFS model, right? So I was talking about this weird active pattern, right? Let's look at this. So there's our tonight's system. Notice that it pushes away with, hold on, let's go to the 18Z, as that's a more updated one. Look at that. It eventually evolves into a very strong system and connects fully with this southern wave. And you can see that by tomorrow, 6 o'clock in the morning, this is what it looks like, right? So southern Kentucky, really central Tennessee, the southern half of Tennessee, still stuck under that heavy rain. It will be diminishing in intensity and in coverage, but definitely still a long ways to go for those folks across the south. And not to make anyone sad, there is another system coming just a few days after that. So right, we see that clear out, and notice what we see right there, a pretty large system kind of from the remnants of this cold front spawn. And you can see that it shows a rain into Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, and off the East Coast. So that's going to be a bit more oriented for the eastern United States. I do want to say, very cold air. This is kind of the thing that makes this pattern weird. It's very warm across the west. In fact, scorching warm across the west for springtime at least. And notice we have extremely cold air across the northeast. We have almost like a polar vortex high. And while it isn't brutal cold, it lingers around for a while. You can see there's our little system, and you may think this is pushing away. The 540 line is pretty far to the north at this point, and it comes back as this ridge builds. The trough builds equally down as further south. We see another system that tries to make its, it does make its way onto the U.S. into Southern California, so that's a bit of rain for you guys this Thursday into Wednesday. And you can see it makes it into the plains, and just because of the extreme pressure gradient here, it just slides to the south. And there was talk about a nor'easter earlier. Some people were pretty excited about that. Again, as I mentioned, things change, and in this case, it did for now at least. Very, very cold air continued, at least relatively for spring. Across the northeast, definitely not warm, but notice we do start seeing the high pressure start shoving this cold air out as it has atmospheric warming on its side. The days are longer, the sun is stronger, and the polar vortex is getting pushed away. Notice a bit of snow into southern Canada, but overall there could be, towards the end week after, say, Friday, a lot of dry weather for a majority of the U.S. There will be a bit of active weather for the west, but anywhere else, pretty darn nice. Not gonna lie, this could be some really nice weather. Even for the Northeast, warmer, probably the warmest time of the week. Definitely chillier as we get into Maine and southern Canada. Not bad. And then obviously that doesn't last for long. You see a system move into the northwest and into actually California and the southwest, so that's good news. You can see it develops into some sort of a blizzard across the Dakotas areas. They have seen very little snow there this year. In some locations, I think, have only reported around 2 to 3 inches in North Dakota for the whole season. So yeah, definitely a good thing. And the storms, you can see that one spawns, brings warm air in, a bit of severe weather potential. People are asking, or were asking in the comments yesterday, and a few days prior, why was this such a big abrupt change in terms of the pattern? We went from such a cold air mass to such warm temperatures, and the reason for this is there was a huge trough, right? But it turned into a zonal flow, and you can see a lot of the storms off the Pacific Ocean are just free to move in through the country. And look at all this warm air. It doesn't come from south, really. It comes more from the west. You can see the Illinois, Wisconsin, Minnesota, the Dakotas, the plains, and the east, the south. They warm not necessarily from the south, but from the warmth. I mean, places in South Dakota could be warmer than places in South Carolina at this time, based on the readings of the thickness line. And notice that again, it progresses eastward, this warm air, as indicated by those red bars. And obviously, once the storm system comes along, it skews things a bit up, but you can see a lot of snow, a lot of rain for the area south, and boom, this thing tracks across into southern Canada, not really gaining much strength, but it does definitely drag a few showers and rain. I do want to say, for the folks across the south, after this last system into Wednesday and Tuesday, it looks dry for a good while for you, and that's going to be good. The grounds are definitely still going to be wet, but the flash flooding threat will be definitely diminished. I mean, you can see you could have 5 to several days of nice calm weather and a bit of rain potentially then across a week from this upcoming Wednesday, so a very long time. And then notice another snowstorm a bit further to the south. Definitely one to watch for across the Midwest, and you can see the cold air kind of does make temporary returns, and I do want to emphasize that. You can see that if you were to take a look at the 2-meter temperature anomaly, or 2-meter just temperature, you can see this is what it looks like. This is now Tuesday, a very nice day for much of the U.S., excluding the Northeast, where it will be pretty chilly. Wednesday, you could see, I would say, even warmer for the Midwest, Great Lakes, the southern United States, the plains, even the portions of the Northeast. But during the night, that cold air is relentless. You can see it gets down into West Virginia, the DC area, and up north it will be 28 degrees. So not record breaking for March, but look at that. Pennsylvania 24, Nebraska 56. So quite a big difference. And again, this air tries making its way, but the cold air kind of continues to hold its grasp and actually intensifying as we push this forward. New York City, Boston 25, 26 during the nights. Same with the portions of the Great Lakes. Midwest, though, the upper plains, really, really warm. Not good news as they are pretty dry, but that will change, and you can see that. There we have our first storm system, indicated by a huge surge of moisture and warmth out ahead of it and a cool air behind it. And generally, though, no Arctic outbreaks like this across the United States. But there will be periods of, warmth, like, say, this, and periods of cool weather where it's, more of a dreary day. Depending on what you like. But definitely, it's, look at that right there towards the long range, a massive cold air mass and a huge warm air mass. That's definitely not a good thing to see. To be honest, severe weather and big storms spawn out of that, which I guess is exciting, but there's a limit on that, right? So taking a look at the European, right, today's system, it drags that precip out, brings in that new system, that last system that could drop quite a bit of rain further to the south across the areas that have been the heaviest impacted, so that's good. And period of dry weather, right? So, for many, this could be going on already now and continue through much of Friday, Saturday, Sunday. European definitely is one of the models that keeps things less active. A bit of rain for Florida next weekend, that's good. They are in a dry area, dry kind of drought almost. But it does start bringing activity back with snow and I mentioned rain and warm air as well. And you can see quite a bit of activity towards the southern California area and into the southwest, which is also good. So I showed you the European. I do want to show you how much rainfall it's forecasting, for example, and just compare it to, like, say, the GFS parallel. Here's a European, right? Pretty good amounts of rain. If we can load this, you can see it starts filling in across the plains a bit later on. But many locations staying high and dry other than the south, obviously, and portions of the northwest. And let's take a glance go back to the previous model we were looking at, right, and just take a look at how much rain it's showing. A pretty good amount, and you can see it shows quite a bit of activity in terms of snow or rain across the Midwest, the southwestern United States. Look at that, pretty good rain amounts. Definitely good news. In the south, seeing additional rain, but nothing too extraordinary, and most of that will be falling in the next couple of days or hours, I should say. Canadian, you can see, keeps things a bit less active across the west, but relatively still kind of resonating with what the other models are showing, more active towards the south, and ongoing cool versus warm air mass bickering, if you will. And the operational GFS, a relatively good model. I wouldn't say it's good on this grand scheme of things, but it's not bad. You can see it does show a lot of rain across the south, southwest, and really just uniformly spreads it, leaving a bit of dry weather for the Alberta, extreme southern Alberta and Manitoba area. I could take you just through the precip type and rate just to show you what this shows, and notice that right, several systems today and into the coming days, little small ones, little clipper, that big rain event, and then a lot of dry weather, either cool or warm, but it's dry, and then finally it does start introducing some precip, which would be a good thing for the upper plains and the southwest of the United States. You can see lots of activity, and that continues for quite a while as the Gulf starts acting up, and these two kind of converge and just start shooting bullets, kind of. You can see this last animation, storm after storm. I do quickly want to show you one last thing. And for that, I would like to take a look at the GFS parallel, as it's probably a better model than this one. And I just want to show you the 2-meter temperature anomalies, and hopefully they have this somewhere. If not, then I'll have to switch the models. Okay, I guess they don't. At least not the one I would like. So for that, we could go to the European. It's probably a bit more accurate, but doesn't go out as long as the GFS version 16. But notice, right? Extremely warm, very cold to the north. These kind of will bicker with each other again, and none of them are really big or long lasting. You can see as soon as the cold moves away, this moves in. And I would say, though, more of a heat oriented pattern than a cool one, at least towards the longer range. The short range, maybe a bit of chill. Later on, you could see, a bit of chill across the northeast. Anywhere elsewhere, quite a bit of warm air, and in fact, pretty hot across the southwestern Canada and northwest U.S. And you can see that continues. All right, thank you for watching, guys, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode. See ya. Bye.